Life doesn't change overnight, but small habits, repeated consistently, can transform everything. This is a fundamental principle of life. The secret to success, happiness, and fulfillment isn't in one big event, one miraculous moment, or one stroke of luck. It's in something much simpler and much more powerful. What you do every day. Because you see, the key to an extraordinary life isn't in a stroke of luck or an opportunity that comes out of nowhere. The key to an extraordinary life is in the small actions you decide to take every day. It's the small choices repeated over time that shape your destiny. If you look at any highly successful person, anyone who has built something significant, who has left a legacy, you'll see a pattern. They didn't do something extraordinary all at once. They did simple things, but they did those things in extraordinary ways, every day, without fail. Think about it. One brick alone doesn't build a house, but one brick placed in the right place every day builds a mansion. A single workout doesn't transform your body, but daily practice, repeated over months and years, builds strength, endurance, vitality. What does this mean? It means that you have much more control over your future than you think, because your future is not determined by chance. It is determined by your habits. Now, I want to challenge you. I want you to do something for 21 days in a row, just 21 days. And I promise you that if you do it with commitment, with seriousness, with intention, something extraordinary will happen in your life. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without discipline, your dreams remain just dreams. But with discipline, anything is possible. And here's the secret. Discipline doesn't have to be something grand. You don't have to change everything all at once. Just start small. For the next 21 days, commit to waking up a little earlier. It could be 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Use this time to feed your mind with something positive, something that inspires you, something that strengthens you. Read a book, listen to a motivational audio, write down your goals. Because you see, if you start your day intentionally, you're not just reacting to problems, you're taking control. Control your internal dialogue. You know what happens to a lot of people? They talk to themselves in ways they would never talk to a friend. They criticize themselves. They sabotage themselves. They put themselves down. They say things like, I can never do this. This isn't for me. I'm not good enough. But here's the truth. The words you say to yourself shape your reality. If you tell yourself you're incapable, guess what? Your brain will believe it. But if you tell yourself you're capable, that you're growing, that you're learning something magical happens. For the next 21 days, promise yourself that you won't complain, you won't make excuses. And every time you feel like saying something negative, replace it with something positive. Say, I can do it. I'm learning. I'm getting better every day. You'll be surprised at the power of this. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude changes everything. And I'm not talking about some vague concept. I'm talking about something practical. For the next 21 days, write down 3 things you're grateful for every day. It can be something big. It can be something small. Because here's the truth. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, your life begins to change. What you appreciate expands. Take care of your body. Your body is your most powerful tool. If you don't have energy, if you don't have vitality, any dream becomes harder to achieve. So during these 21 days, move. Do some physical activity, anything that gets your body moving, because movement generates energy. Take action every day. This is essential. No matter what your goal is, building a business, improving your finances, strengthening your relationships, you need to take action. Every day, even if it's just one small step. Small, consistent steps lead to big changes. Remember, the difference between those who achieve success and those who stay in the same place is not talent. It's not luck. It's consistency. Are you willing to commit to these 21 days? If so, I guarantee you, your life will never be the same. You will have more clarity, more discipline, more confidence. You will begin to realize that you have the power to shape your destiny and that it all starts with small daily habits. If you want to change your life, change your habits. Because the truth is, your life, your reality, your results, all of that is just a reflection of the actions you repeat every day. You don't become successful overnight. You don't become healthy overnight. You don't build wealth out of thin air. It all comes from small choices made repeatedly over time. And today, I want to challenge you to do something simple, but incredibly powerful. I want you to commit to a new set of habits for 21 days straight. Just 21 days. Now, you might be thinking, Jim, just 21 days? Can this really change my life? And I tell you, absolutely. Because you see, 21 days isn't just about forming a habit. It's about proving to yourself that you can do it. It's about building momentum. It's about becoming the person who takes control of their own life. Picture it. Every big change starts with a first step. But what do most people do? They wait. They wait for the perfect motivation, the perfect moment, the perfect circumstance. But let me tell you something. If you keep waiting, you'll wait your whole life. Change happens when you decide to take action. When you stop just wishing for a better life and start working for it. And that's exactly what these 21 days will do for you. If you do it with commitment, with seriousness, with intention, something extraordinary will happen. You'll start to see progress. You'll feel a different energy. You'll realize that you don't need anyone to give you permission to change because you have that power inside you all the time. Now, let me tell you a secret about the human mind. Your brain loves patterns. It loves habits. If you repeat an action long enough, it becomes automatic. It becomes part of who you are. And here's the problem. Most people are stuck in habits that keep them in the same place. They wake up and pick up their phones. They complain about life. They procrastinate. They let the day pass by without intention. And then they wonder why nothing changes. But what if, for 21 days, you decided to rewrite that pattern? What if, for 21 days, you started each day with a purpose? What if, for 21 days, you made small changes that, over time, would create a huge impact? Think about it. Have you ever tried going 21 days without doing something? Maybe 21 days without eating sugar, without watching television, without checking your phone in the morning? Do you notice how your mind starts to change, how your body reacts? This proves that small changes create big results. And if this works for negative things, imagine what happens when you start applying this to personal growth, to your health, to your productivity, to your relationships. So I challenge you, for the next 21 days, take control. Because you see, either you control your habits or your habits control you. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be extreme. It just has to be consistent. Because at the end of the day, what truly separates those who succeed from those who fail is not intelligence, not talent, not luck. It's consistency. Are you ready to make that commitment? Because if you do, I promise you, something extraordinary will happen. Your focus will change. Your energy will change. Your mindset will change. And when your mindset changes, your entire life changes. So for 21 days, commit and see for yourself what happens when you become the person who chooses your habits instead of being held hostage by them. Commit to discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your desires and your achievements. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's what turns good intentions into great results. I learned something very early on in my journey. Success is not a one-time event. It's not something that happens overnight. Success is a routine. It doesn't come from a stroke of luck or a miraculous moment. It comes from what you do every day, over and over again, without fail. If you look at any successful person, whether in business, health, relationships, or finances, you'll see a pattern. They have discipline. They don't wait for motivation. They don't wake up and let the day decide for them. They take control. And that's exactly what I want you to do. For the next 21 days, commit to one simple habit. Get up a little earlier. But Jim, I already get up early for work. I already have a routine. And I tell you, this isn't just about waking up earlier. It's about what you do with that time. Because here's the problem. Most people wake up and immediately rush into the day. They grab their phones. They check their messages. They throw themselves into their routine without a moment to themselves. And then the day goes by, they react to everything that happens. And by the time night comes, they feel drained, directionless, and drained of energy. But you don't have to live like this. You can do something different. For the next 21 days, I want you to wake up a little early, 15 reals minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and use that time intentionally. Use that time to feed your mind with knowledge. Read an inspiring book. Listen to a motivational audio. Learn something new. Because you see, your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant good seeds, the weeds take over. Use that time to reflect on your goals. Not just the big goals, but the small daily ones. Ask yourself, what can I do today that will take me one step closer to my dreams? Plan your day before the day plans you. When you wake up with clarity, when you already know what you need to focus on, you avoid distractions. You avoid wasting time on things that don't matter. And here's the key. Don't wake up and go straight to rushing. Because if you start your day rushing, reacting, without direction, without intention, you're just surviving. But if you start your day with purpose, with discipline, with a plan, you're living in control. And I tell you, if you master your morning, you will master your day. And if you master your days, you will master your life. Now, I'm not saying it will be easy. The first few days, you may feel sleepy. You may feel lazy. You may think, oh, just 5 more minutes of sleep. But I challenge you to resist that voice. Because you see, every time you say no to laziness and yes to discipline, you are building a new identity. You are becoming someone stronger, more focused, more prepared to win. And you know what happens after 21 days? Waking up early and using that time productively stops being a sacrifice. It becomes a habit. And habits build your destiny. So for 21 days, give it a try. Wake up before the world. Take control of your morning. Invest in yourself before the day demands everything from you. And then see what happens. Because when you change your morning, you change your day. And when you change your days, you change your life. Eliminate negative words from your vocabulary. This may seem like a small detail, but I promise you, it is one of the most powerful changes you can make in your life. Because you see, the words you use every day are not just words. They are commands to your mind. They shape the way you think, influence your emotions, and ultimately determine your actions and results. If you spend your days complaining, making excuses, you are programming your mind for scarcity, for limitation, for failure. Now you may be thinking, but Jim, I'm just telling the truth. My life really is challenging. I really am going through hard times. And I tell you, yes, challenges exist. Yes, difficulties happen. But the way you talk about them determines whether you will overcome them or be overwhelmed by them. Think about it. What is the difference between someone who says, it's impossible, and someone who says, it's hard, but I'll find a way? The difference lies in the destiny that each person has chosen for themselves. Because you see, when you say that something is impossible, your brain immediately shuts down. It stops looking for solutions. It stops looking for paths. But when you say, this is hard, but I'll find a way, your mind kicks in. It starts looking for opportunities, alternatives, ways out. Because every time you complain, you're training your mind to focus on the problem instead of the solution. Promise yourself that you won't complain. Because when you complain, you're reinforcing the idea that you have no control, that you're a victim of circumstances. Promise yourself that you won't make excuses. Because every time you make an excuse, you're giving yourself permission to stay where you are. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but Jim, sometimes things really are hard. Sometimes I really feel like complaining. And I'm telling you, of course they are. And of course you will. But here's the difference between winners and losers. Winners feel the same urge to complain, to whine, to make excuses, but they choose not to. And here's the secret. Every time you feel like saying something negative, replace it with a positive affirmation. Instead of saying, this is impossible, say, I haven't found the solution yet, but I will. Instead of saying, I suck at this, say, I'm learning, I'm getting better every day. Instead of saying, I don't have time, say, I'll find time for what's important. Instead of saying, I can't do it, say, how can I do it? Now, why does this work? Because your mind is always listening. And what you tell yourself every day becomes your reality. If you tell yourself every day that you're unlucky, that you're untalented, that you'll never make it, your mind will believe it and create situations that confirm that belief. But if you tell yourself every day that you are learning, that you are growing, that you are getting better, your mind will look for ways to make that a reality. And do you know what happens after 21 days? You start to notice something extraordinary. Your mental pattern changes. You naturally find yourself thinking more positively. You start to feel more energized. You start to see opportunities where you used to see obstacles. And that, my friend, can transform your life. For 21 days, eliminate negative words from your vocabulary. And when you feel like complaining, remember, your mind is listening. Choose words that move you forward, not hold you back. Do this and see what happens. I guarantee you something extraordinary will happen. Practice gratitude. If there's one habit that can transform your life in ways you've probably never imagined, it's this one. Daily gratitude. Because you see what happens to most people? They spend their days focusing on what's missing, focusing on what they don't have, focusing on what went wrong. They wake up and start thinking about their problems, their difficulties, their worries. And then, without realizing it, they enter a state of mind of scarcity. But what happens when you change your focus? What happens when, instead of looking at what's missing, you look at what you already have? Everything changes. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. And if you practice it every day, something extraordinary will happen. For the next 21 days, I want you to develop this habit. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Now, you might be thinking, but Jim, I'm already grateful. I know I have good things in my life. And I tell you what, real gratitude isn't just about knowing that you have good things. It's about actively focusing on them every day. Because here's what happens. Your mind is like a lens. What you focus on, you see more of. If you focus on the problems, guess what happens? You see more problems. If you focus on the hardships, you see more hardships. But if you focus on the blessings, the opportunities, the things you already have, you start to see even more things to be grateful for. This isn't magic, it's neuroscience. Your brain has something called the reticular activating system. It's responsible for filtering the information you receive. It decides what you should pay attention to. And guess what? It pays attention to what you train your mind to see. If you train yourself to see the positive, you'll start to notice more opportunities. You'll start to notice more reasons to smile. You'll start to feel an internal shift that affects everything around you. Be grateful for what you have right now, regardless of the circumstances. Be grateful for the roof over your head, for the air you breathe, for the opportunity to learn, grow, change. Be grateful for the people who support you, for the moments of joy, even for the challenges, because they are what make you stronger. Gratitude doesn't mean you have to settle. It doesn't mean you can't want more. It just means that you recognize and appreciate what you already have while working to achieve more. And here's something I've learned on my own journey. What you appreciate expands. If you appreciate your health, you'll start to take better care of it. If you appreciate your relationships, they'll become stronger. If you appreciate opportunities, more opportunities will come your way. Now, I know what you might be thinking. But Jim, what if my life is hard? What if I really have nothing to be grateful for? And I'll tell you, there is always something. Even on the hardest days, take care of your body. If there's one thing I've learned along my journey, it's that success without health isn't true success. What's the point of achieving wealth, building businesses, or accomplishing great things if your body doesn't have the energy to enjoy life? Movement generates energy, and energy is the foundation of everything. Have you ever noticed how on days when your body is tired, your mind also seems sluggish? How when you feel physically exhausted, even the simplest challenges seem like impossible mountains to climb? Now, imagine the opposite. Imagine waking up feeling energetic, your body feeling light, your mind sharp, your energy vibrant. That changes everything. Because without energy, even the biggest dreams seem distant. But with energy, with vitality, with strength, you become unstoppable. So Here's my challenge to you. For the next 21 days, move. It doesn't have to be something extreme. You don't have to run marathons or lift heavy weights, but you do need to move. You do need to remind your body that it was made for action. Walk, stretch, dance, run. Do something that gets your blood pumping, that gets your muscles moving, that gets your heart pumping. Because every time you move your body, you're not just taking care of your physical health, you're training your mind for action. And here's the secret. If you want more energy, you need to generate more energy. Many people believe that energy is fixed, that some people just have more energy and others don't, but that's not true. Energy is created by movement. The more you move, the more energy you have. The more you challenge yourself physically, the more your body responds, the stronger you become. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but Jim, I don't have time for that. My schedule is too busy. And I'm telling you, you don't have time to ignore it. If you don't prioritize your health now, one day you'll be forced to prioritize it. Because you see, your body is like a car. You can be the best driver in the world, but if your car is out of gas, if your engine is worn out, you're not going to get anywhere. And health is that engine. For the next 21 days, treat your body like a valuable asset, like the most important tool you have to build the life you want. And here's the thing. When you start moving, your mind changes. Your posture improves. Your mood improves. Your confidence grows. You start to feel more in control, more capable, more alive. And when that happens, something incredible happens. Momentum. You start to realize that small actions add up to big changes. You start to feel like just walking in the morning gives you more clarity, that a few minutes of exercise boosts your energy for the whole day. And then, after 21 days, it stops being an effort. It becomes a habit. It becomes part of who you are. And suddenly, you don't just dream of a better life, you have the energy to build it. So move, take care of your body, generate energy, and see the impact it has on every area of your life. And perhaps most important of all, take action every day towards your goals. Because you see, life doesn't reward intentions, it rewards actions. How many people do you know who say they want something? Who talk about the dreams they have, the plans they'd like to achieve, the changes they'd like to make? But how many of those people actually do something about it? The truth is, the difference between those who achieve an extraordinary life and those who get stuck in mediocrity isn't talent, luck, or opportunities. It's consistent daily action. And the secret is this. You don't have to take giant steps. You just have to take small steps every day. If you want to improve your career, you don't have to wait for a big opportunity to fall into your lap. Just learn something new for 30 minutes every day. Read a book in your field, take an online course, hone your skills, because accumulated knowledge over time becomes power. If you want to build a business, you don't have to drop everything and risk it all at once. Just make time for it, even if it's just an hour a day. Because progress doesn't come from big bursts of one-off effort. It comes from daily discipline. If you want to strengthen your relationships, you don't have to make grand gestures. Just send a loving message, call someone, be present, because true connections aren't built on empty words, but on small, consistent acts of attention and care. And here's what I want you to understand. Small actions, repeated consistently, create extraordinary changes. The problem is that most people think about progress the wrong way. They believe they have to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the big push in life. But the secret is that there is no perfect moment. The only moment you have is right now. So instead of waiting, start. Even if it seems small, even if it seems insignificant, because real progress doesn't happen in leaps and bounds. It happens in steady steps. And you know what happens when you take action every day, even just a little bit? You start building momentum. Momentum is that invisible force that turns effort into habit, that turns habit into result, that turns result into a new reality. After 21 days, taking action every day stops being a conscious effort. It becomes part of who you are. Studying every day becomes natural. Working on your project becomes normal. Taking care of your relationships becomes automatic. And before you know it, you've changed. You've become someone different. Because, you see, success is not a destination. Success is an identity. And the only way to become that successful, fulfilled, confident, purposeful person is to act like that person every day. even before you feel ready. So my challenge to you is this. For 21 days, take action. Every day. No excuses, no procrastination, no waiting for the perfect moment. Choose a goal, define a small step that you can take, and do it. Because at the end of the day, the life you want will not be built on thoughts, intentions, or empty promises. It will be built with your actions one day at a time. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay in the same place is not talent. It's not luck. It's consistency. You see, everyone has had a brilliant idea. Everyone has had that moment of inspiration, that desire to change, that urge to do something big. But how many people actually follow through? The truth is, it's not the smartest who win. It's not the most talented. It's not those who were born with the most opportunities. It's those who persist. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good you are at something if you don't do it consistently. If you work out at the gym once a month, it won't make a difference to your body. If you study a language once every 6 months, you'll never become fluent. If you only work on your dream when you're motivated, you'll never see progress. But if you do a little bit every day, it adds up. It grows. It turns into something powerful. Because success isn't a one-time event. It's a daily process. And here's what I've learned. In the beginning, it may seem like nothing is happening. You may exercise for a week and not see any change. You may study for a month and feel like you still know little. You may work on your project for a year and still not see the results you want. And this is where most people give up. They look at the effort they've put in, they look at the results that haven't come yet, and they say, this isn't working. But the winners, the ones who truly transform their lives, know something that others don't. The results always come as long as you keep at it, because everything in life follows the principle of accumulation. Every action counts. Every repetition matters. Every little effort makes a difference. It's like planting a seed. You don't see anything the first few days or the first week. But if you keep watering it, if you keep nurturing it, one day that seed will break through the ground. One day it will become a strong, imposing tree. And so it is with your habits. And so it is with your career. It's the same with your health, your relationships, your dreams. And I ask you, what would happen if you just kept going? If you kept training, even if you didn't see immediate results, if you kept learning, even when it seemed difficult, if you kept working on your dream, even when no one believed in it, what would happen? What would happen if for 21 days you did what you knew you needed to do, without excuses, without interruptions, without giving up? I'll tell you what would happen. Your life would start to change. Because that's how transformation happens. Not in big leaps, but in small steps repeated every day. And here's the secret that few understand. Consistency beats talent. The talented person who doesn't practice, who doesn't persist, will be surpassed by the one who shows up every day, who trains every day, who improves a little bit every day. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you can do once, it's about what you do every time. So, here's my final message to you. Commit to consistency. For 21 days, do what needs to be done without fail. It doesn't matter if you're tired. It doesn't matter if you're unmotivated. It doesn't matter if it doesn't seem to be working. Just keep going. And I promise you, one day you'll look back and realize that this simple decision changed everything.